All right, back with us today to discuss this blatant injustice going on in America is our good friend of the show, good friend of mine, musician and outdoorsman, Mr. Ted Nugent. Ted, you know, they're calling this an insurrection. So Terrio gets 22 years. 22 years he wasn't even in the Capitol. Big, 17 years. The other two, 15 and 18 years. It's insane, Ted. Ted, how can this be an insurrection if no one was armed?
Well, Eric, once again, thanks for having me on, because I'm just a humble voice of we the people out here. I get stopped everywhere we go. And everything that you articulate on your show is resonant across this country. People's hearts are broken. They're really pissed off because there is a glaring, inescapable, irrefutable two-tier justice system. I hesitate to even use the word justice because I can't seem to find any. And this is a glaring example of just how corrupt the DOJ is, our court system is. You know who's really pissed off? The heroes of law enforcement, the ones who obey their sacred constitutional oath. They're really, really upset, and they're scared because they see that heroes, people that are exercising their First Amendment rights, and that's all these guys were doing. Nobody caused any damage. Nobody hurt anybody. Nobody killed anybody. Nobody had weapons on them. You can't have an insurrection if you're unarmed. The term insurrection is a lie, like everything coming out of Uncle Sam right now. It's a dangerous, painful, ugly time. And here's the most powerful statement. I spent time around the campfire with a survivor of the Bataan Death March. I share campfires with Delta Force and the Navy SEALs and the Marines and the Green Berets and the Army Rangers. These guys' hearts are shattered that everybody is violating their oath to the Constitution who have the most power. These are tragic, tragic anti-American times.
Ted, I'm glad you said it. The Eighth Amendment to the Constitution protects against cruel and unusual punishment. I think it was meant for exactly this. Ted, I'm blown away. I'm pissed off. I am pissed off that they're doing this. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't know I actually know a couple of the Proud Boys, Gavin McInnes, but I don't support them. I don't care what they're about. I don't have anything to do with them. I will tell you, for these guys to get 15, 17, 18, and 22 years is insane. It's unfair. We got to stop it. We can't let it happen. I went back to federal sentencing guidelines. I looked them up, Ted. Involuntary manslaughter, less than 15 years, which means you get, you're hot, you're mad, and you punch somebody, you don't mean to kill them, but you kill them. Involuntary manslaughter, 15 years. Voluntary manslaughter, meaning like, I went for it, I didn't really want to kill him. 8 years, less than 8 years. Trafficking a child for sex, 30 to 40 months, a few years. Full-blown sexual assault, the average federally, 190 months, about 15 years, Ted, and they're throwing these guys in jail for decades. For what?
Well, look what they're doing. This great President Donald Trump, the persecution, the attack on this great man who did really make America great. Every one of Donald Trump's policies made America stronger, richer, safer, great again, literally. And I'd be more than happy to debate anybody on any of those points. But here's the real tragedy. Not only is there a two-tiered anti-justice system, but the Democrats bailed out arsonists. The Democrats bailed out vandals and terrorists that tore down entire cities, Portland, Seattle, Chicago, New York, up and down Main Street America on video. That's not like the jury is still out. We have video footage of terrorism, and the Democrats came to their aid while they're persecuting these guys who were just performing their First Amendment rights, their God-given individual First Amendment guaranteed rights. These are painful times. I got to tell you, it's rampant. This old guy that I shared the campfire with, who dragged his buddies off the battlefield for their constitutional oath, they cry tears of blood. They are so hurt that their buddies died for this. And this is the manifestation of total cultural abandonment in America today. And I know I'm just a guitar player, but I'm reiterating the pulse that I hear everywhere I go. People are scared, people are angry, and people are really fed up. But the answer, Eric, I'm going to give you something. HunterNation.org. It sounds like it doesn't accomplish anything. HunterNation.org. We got boots on the ground in all 50 states. We're going to galvanize conservative voters. We're not going to tell them who to vote for because we're nonprofit. HunterNation.org will galvanize conservative voters, but the only hope is for conservatives to unite and really go back to the Constitution. And I believe we can do it.
I hope you do, and I hope you do this legally. I hope you do it with protest, peaceful protesting, Ted, but we got to stop them. We can't let them get away with this. We can't have where the BLM and Antifa are being paid millions upon millions of dollars for what they did in 2020, and these guys are going to jail. They're going to jail for decades. It's got to stop. Ted, I love you. I got to go, my friend. We'll follow up with you again very soon. Ted Nugent, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, Eric. Godspeed.
Right, folks. If you want more of Ted, you can catch his show, The Spirit of the Wild, which is the most watched series on the Pursuit channel. But remember, for all things Nugent, go to tednugent.com.